This is worksheet 18.5, and we're going to look at graphing parabolas on number 31 and 32. On number 31, this is already in factored form. To find the roots of a parabola, that means y is equal to 0. So if we solve this equation, the only value of x that could make this equal to 0 is when x plus 2 equals 0, so x equals -2. So this is the only root of the parabola. If this is the only root, then that means the vertex also has to be at -2, 0. So I'm going to put that in the middle of my table here, and we want to fill in the table for 5 different values of x. So plugging these values into here, when x equals -4, you get -2 squared, which is 4, and then a negative. Plugging -3 in, that's -1 squared, which is 1, but also negative. Plugging -1 in, we get 1 squared, and make that negative. And 0, we get 2 squared, 4, and a negative. So if we plot those points, we get this parabola that opens down. On number 32, this is not in factored form yet, but we can easily find the roots of the parabola if we just factor this out. The factored form would be x plus 4, x minus 2. So that gives us roots at -4, 0, and 2, 0. So if these are our roots, our vertex must be halfway between those. So if I just count, you know the vertex is going to be when x equals -1. So I'm going to put that in the middle of the table. And then we can just plug -1 into here and calculate the y value. So -1 squared is 1, 1 minus 2 is -1, -1 minus 8 is -9. And if you want to scale your graph, you could just scale the y-axis by 3s. And then plugging these numbers into your equation, you can calculate the y values, but your graph should look something like this. And again, vertex is at -1, -9.